Guys, I already did a neck video for this series before, but there's going to be a lot of repeats because there's so many different things you can do for everything with your body, which is why I prefer to inspire you to imagine things yourself and figure stuff out. But follow along, I think it's going to be helpful because sometimes we don't always give ourselves the dedicated time that we could use, right? So we're going to talk about different ways to relax the neck because I feel like people hold so much tension up here, right? And we're going to use breathing, we're going to talk about segmentation a little bit and look at solving your own problems as usual, okay? Or like not thinking of them as problems. That's a huge thing I've been thinking about a lot lately is the idea of, oh, if I start to feel something, that's my body telling me that something is going on there. That's the signal. So it's a conversation and a communication. They're like, okay, there was a signal and there was a response, and what can I do to change the conversation in a way that I like? Okay, so starting off, let's go with just some breathing. I'd like you to place your hands on either side of your neck. And I just want you to notice if, when you breathe, these muscles tense. Okay, so just stay here for a second and just breathe, whatever. And maybe they move, but they don't feel like they tense up, or maybe they do tense up for you, okay? Or we're gonna go into some focused breathing through here, and then go back and see if we can relax those a little more, okay? So put your hands on your chest, like you're looking at me like, oh, okay. And I just want you to try to get some motion through here. So go ahead and breathe a few breaths here, just in through the nose, out through the nose, nice and calm, trying to get your effort through here. Make your neck comfortable. If at any time you have the urge to do something, the answer is always yes, you can always do it. Please listen to yourself. Go ahead and put your hands in your neck again, and I'm going to spend 2 minutes here of dedicated breathing and just focusing on paying attention to what goes on here and seeing if you can change it if you want to. So if you feel like you're getting tension in your neck, see if you can breathe in a way that isn't creating tension. And if you just want to observe, then just observe. You'll see that things change just from the observation of them, okay? Some quantum physics for you there. So go ahead, 2 minutes starting now, and breathing, observing. Does your neck feel more relaxed than when you started? I don't know. So you could just end the video now. You can just like focus on how much of a difference taking 2 minutes to just focus on your breathing can do. All right, but we're gonna talk a little bit about segmentation and stuff as well. So let me get my hair out of the way. And I've been noticing that I have an achy spot in my neck. So I'm trying to figure out what that means and what my body might be asking for. And so what I've come up with is that I think it'd be good if I had a little bit more of a habit to use more of my back to do my motions instead of a lot of just right here. I think that at the moment it feels like it's a little overworked because it's giving me a signal that it feels a little sore and achy. So I notice like whenever I'm sitting back and I look down, it's like coming from here. And whenever if I'm slouching here and I want to look up, it comes from here instead of me involving straightening my whole back up. So it's just noticing those little habits where the work could be spread out on more segments, and it's not right now. So I want to build into a little bit more activity in the other ranges of motion that I could be using. So a lot of that is the mindfulness, and paying attention is what you do all day. And that's always going to be the biggest thing. It's like, okay, when I look up, does it have to be just my neck, or could I get a little bit more global? Could I twist from my back? Could I twist from my neck sometimes? And alternating those things. I don't want all my motion to come from one place, really at any time. We practice the ability to use different segments of ourselves in our cars and controlled articular rotations and all these things so that it can work better as a whole. That's why I don't want people just doing, oh, well, I just do shoulder cars, or I just been working on my ankle cars. All of the joints need to be part of it, right? So we want to be a whole person that all works together. And I want to give as much attention as is needed at all of those things. So right now I want you to do one more experiment. You're going to just play with imagining that your neck is like a plume or a feather. Sitting on top of this platform that you have here on your shoulders. And I'd like you to just imagine that there's wind blowing around, and whatever the easiest ways, and it'll feel really random, but I don't think it is. What are the easiest ways for your neck to kind of float around? It could be a really small area. It could be staying in one place. I'm just going to take a minute here and play with that. Feeling the easiest, lightest, most pleasant ways for your neck to move around. Uncontrolled articular rotations. Riding the waves. Letting it fall. Now that you've done that, go ahead and do a couple of controlled articular rotations. So you're going into, again, focusing on pleasant, so you're not going for max here. Maybe being a little more organized in your movement. And I'm doing what feels comfortable to me. The largest comfortable movement that I have. Comfortable articular rotations. That still works. Right? Maybe you notice that there's an area that you kind of skip over because it is uncomfortable. So go ahead and find that angle. And then place your hand on one side of your neck, your choice. So if you think, let's try them both so you can feel. I'm going to go long side first, and I'm going to press about 10% effort and pushing my head into my hand. Make sure you're doing something that you can still have a nice relaxed breath in. And then I'm going to relax out. And take my hand to my other side and do about 10% pressure into the hand on this side. Pushing gently into an isometric. and softening out of that. And then go ahead and move around a little bit again. This can be as controlled or uncontrolled as you like. You're going for comfortable feeling. We're going to move down to the floor for one more thing, and that's getting some activity and awareness through the part of my back just below where I feel stuff. So I'm going for upper thoracic. Maybe you want to go a little bit lower than that. When I arch my back, flex and extend like this, I have areas that I don't feel I'm in great contact with. And for me, that's up in between the shoulder blades. So you can go along with me, or if you have another area that you know isn't the greatest awareness for you, go ahead and do that. You do need a washcloth or some other kind of target, like a rolled up belt or something like that. And we're going to do two things with that, okay? So moving down to the floor. I just need this rolled up large enough that I can feel it under the area that I'm looking for, okay? So here, I'm first going to start off just paying attention to feeling it underneath of me. And man, lying on the floor feels good. I'm going to give myself a big stretch. Again, the answer is always yes for anything that feels good for your body. Oh man, that was good. Okay, so I'm noticing this thing underneath me. And let's do a little bit of breathing here again. I'm just going to take 10 breaths where I'm going to try to increase the pressure on the object for 10 breaths. Ready? And in. And out. Nice and controlled both ways. Can I expand right in that area so I have more pressure down? In. And out. 3. And out. 4. And out. 5. Out. 6. Out. 7. Out. 8. Out. 9. Out. 10. Out. Now, you can go as subtly or as immediately as you want for this, but the next game we're going to play is I'm going to try to pin down the object. So I've got all my pressure in that one spot here, okay? So you can see this is obviously the dramatic version here. And I could go from here and just very, very slowly press down. My goal is going to be, your goal is to get as much pressure down in that spot with the rest of your body totally relaxed as you can. So the two angles you can take from that are keep everything relaxed and slowly increase pressure without anything else firing. You could also go do whatever you need to create pressure there and then slowly relax everything off of it, okay? So I'm in the mood to try the press down and relax everything else. And man, my body's really asking for cars. I haven't done my full cars yet today. I'll definitely be doing that in a moment. So go ahead and choose your angle, and we're gonna do 5 minutes. Yes, 5 minutes of whatever you choose, and you could go back and forth, right? So if you want to try and then let it out and try again, repeat all these things, but it's gonna be 5 minutes of dedicated practice together of either everything is relaxed, increase pressure, or without anything else firing, or maybe fire whatever you want and come down and then try not to lose the pressure as you relax everything else. And you may find some balance between those two and kind of ebb and flow. We're going to start time right now. Okay. If you feel you've reached a stopping point, check in with if you can create more pressure. And if so, does you engage other things that you can now try to relax while maintaining that? One more minute. Good, and slowly come out of that. So everything is chill. Give your body whatever it's asking for. And hopefully your neck and maybe other parts of you are more relaxed than they were before. I'm going to go ahead and move my spine around and pay attention to what I do throughout my day and build those habits into building the person that I would like to operate as.